Do you ever find yourself not in the mood for penetrative sex but still desiring intimacy? Perhaps penetration feels uncomfortable or painful, or maybe you're simply not ready for intercourse, such as on your wedding night. Whether you're looking for ways to enhance your sexual life, avoid discomfort, or explore deeper forms of connection with your partner, there are many fulfilling ways to experience sexual intimacy without the need for penetration. This guide aims to explore various forms of non-penetrative intimacy, offering alternative paths to sexual satisfaction that can be just as, if not more pleasurable than penetrative sex. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I invite you to join, where I regularly create content on sex education and body positivity, all with a focus on God consciousness. There are countless ways to experience intimacy and pleasure without relying on penetration. One of the most common and rewarding methods is what's known as outer course. This term refers to any form of sexual activity that doesn't involve penetration. Outer course can include everything from kissing and touching to more explicit forms of stimulation like manual pleasure or oral sex. For many couples, outer course is an essential part of their sexual routine, allowing them to focus on each other's bodies and desires without the expectation of intercourse. Dry humping, or sexual stimulation through clothing, is another popular form of non-penetrative sex. Though often associated with adolescent experimentation, dry humping can be intensely pleasurable for adults as well. The friction of fabric against sensitive areas can create a heightened sense of arousal without the need for full nudity or penetration. For couples who want to engage in sexual activity but aren't ready for or interested in penetration at the moment, this method offers an enjoyable alternative. In some cultures, specific techniques have been developed to enhance non-penetrative sex. One example is the practice of kunyaza, which originates from certain African traditions. This technique involves using the man's penis to rhythmically stimulate the woman's clitoris and labia without penetration. Kunyaza has been celebrated for its ability to bring women to orgasm without the need for penetrative sex. And it's a great example of how sexual pleasure can be achieved through different approaches. Manual stimulation, where partners use their hands to pleasure each other, is another highly effective way to experience intimacy. This method allows for direct stimulation of erogenous zones, such as the clitoris or penis, which can lead to intense pleasure. Manual stimulation also has the benefit of being highly customizable, allowing each partner to communicate their preferences and desires, ensuring that both are satisfied. Mutual masturbation, where both partners masturbate each other at the same time, can be a deeply intimate experience as well, fostering a sense of connection and shared pleasure. Oral sex is another form of non-penetrative sex that many couples find enjoyable. While this may not be permissible in some religious or cultural contexts, it remains a popular option for those who feel comfortable with it. Oral sex can offer intense pleasure and intimacy, allowing partners to focus on each other's satisfaction in a way that's often more relaxed and intimate than penetrative sex. For those looking to explore even more options, sex toys can introduce a new dynamic into non-penetrative sex. There are countless toys designed for external stimulation, such as vibrators or clitoral massagers, that can bring new levels of pleasure. Additionally, couples might want to explore tantric sex, which emphasizes mindfulness, deep breathing, and connection between partners. Tantric practices can be particularly helpful for those dealing with premature ejaculation or difficulty achieving orgasm, as they focus on slow, intentional build-ups to pleasure rather than rushing toward a climax. Why penetration isn't always necessary. First and foremost, it's important to challenge the idea that penetrative sex is the pinnacle or even the goal of intimacy. Many people, especially women, find that non-penetrative activities are more pleasurable, emotionally fulfilling, and sometimes even physically satisfying. This approach requires us to expand our definition of intimacy, focusing more on pleasure, connection, and the full spectrum of experiences that make up a healthy sexual relationship. There are many reasons why penetration may not always feel good or be appropriate at a given time. Biological factors, such as a woman's menstrual cycle, can impact comfort levels. Hormonal changes throughout the cycle affect everything from mood to vaginal lubrication, making some phases of the cycle more favorable for non-penetrative forms of sex. Additionally, certain life stages such as pregnancy, postpartum recovery, and menopause bring about changes in the body that can make penetration less comfortable or even undesirable. Another common issue is painful sex, which many women experience due to conditions like vaginismus, vaginal dryness, or other medical conditions. For instance, vaginismus is a condition where the muscles around the vagina contract involuntarily, making penetration painful or impossible. A study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that up to 7.5% of women suffer from conditions that make penetrative sex uncomfortable. For these women, non-penetrative options are essential to maintaining a healthy sexual life. Emotional reasons also play a significant role in why penetration may not always be the ideal form of intimacy. Stress, fatigue, emotional distress, or even a simple lack of interest in penetrative sex on a given day can all contribute to a desire for alternative forms of intimacy. Non-penetrative methods provide a way to continue connecting physically without feeling pressured to engage in something that may not feel right at that moment. It's also important to consider men's experiences in this conversation. Men can suffer from conditions such as premature ejaculation or erectile dysfunction, which can bring stress and frustration into the sexual relationship. By focusing on non-penetrative methods, couples can relieve the pressure to perform and instead focus on mutual pleasure and connection. This shift can enhance the overall intimacy in the relationship and create a more relaxed environment for both partners. In fact, the only time penetration is absolutely necessary is when trying to conceive naturally. Beyond that, penetration is an option, not a requirement for a satisfying sex life. Pleasure, however, should never be optional. Finding ways to be close, physically and emotionally, is at the heart of a healthy relationship. If you and your spouse enjoy penetrative sex, that's wonderful, but it's equally important to recognize the value of non-penetrative intimacy. Having a wide range of sexual experiences allows for more flexibility in your relationship, particularly when one or both partners aren't in the mood for penetration. Exploring new forms of intimacy can be exciting and fulfilling, deepening the connection between you and your partner. In closing, it's important to remember that there is no right or wrong way to experience intimacy. Every couple is unique, and the key to a fulfilling sexual relationship is communication, mutual respect, and a willingness to explore new forms of connection. Non-penetrative sex can be a beautiful and satisfying way to enhance your relationship, allowing for deeper emotional and physical bonds that go beyond traditional definitions of intercourse. Before wrapping up, don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful, and leave a comment with any topics you'd like me to cover in future videos. Thank you for watching.